Have you ever wondered what it would be like if someone you knew disappeared only to return a year later completely changed? Amelia, a woman loved by all, vanishes without a trace. The days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and just as hope dwindles into a mere flicker, she returns. But the joy of her return is tainted by an air of uncanniness, an invisible shroud of strangeness that now seems to envelop her. The Amelia they knew was vibrant, filled with a warmth that radiated into every room she entered. But the woman who returned, though bearing the same face, was an echo of her former self. Her laughter, once infectious, now lacked its usual vitality. Her eyes, once lively and sparkling, now held an eerie emptiness. The friends who had eagerly awaited her return now found themselves grappling with an unsettling distant feeling when they were with her. Conversations felt forced, the once easy flow of dialogue replaced by uneasy silences. Even her closest friend Lucy found her suspicions piqued, unable to shake off the feeling that the person standing before her was a hollow replica of the friend she once knew. Late into the night, as the veil of darkness draped over them, Lucy ventured into the realm of the unknown. Probing into the mystery of Amelia's disappearance, she was met with a chilling tale of an otherworldly encounter. Amelia spoke in hushed whispers of an entity that had claimed her, changed her, leaving a lingering dread in the air. As the days unfolded, the strangeness around Amelia intensified. Her family watched in horror as she engaged in bizarre rituals, muttering cryptic phrases, and objects moved mysteriously in her presence. The walls of their home, once a sanctuary, now bore strange symbols etched in an unknown language. But what could have caused this drastic change in Amelia? What horrors had she experienced during her disappearance? The reality, they would soon discover, was far more terrifying than they could have ever imagined. Amelia confided in Lucy about an otherworldly encounter. A chill crept up Lucy's spine, the suspicion that would cast a shadow on her every interaction. Their conversation took place under the cover of darkness, a fitting backdrop for the eerie tale Amelia began to weave. Her voice, once filled with warmth and laughter, now echoed with a chilling hollowness. She spoke of an encounter, a meeting with an entity that was not of this world. Her words, although vague, hinted at a reality far beyond our comprehension, a reality that seemed to have left an indelible mark on Amelia. As Amelia delved into her story, Lucy could see a change in her friend's demeanor. Amelia's gaze seemed distant and inexplicably hollow, her eyes reflecting a world Lucy could not perceive. With every word, Amelia painted a picture of an existence that was both fascinating and terrifying. She spoke of being chosen, of being marked, of being changed. Lucy sat there, transfixed as Amelia's tale unfolded. She tried to dismiss it as a fabrication, a result of trauma perhaps, but the conviction in Amelia's voice, and the subtle shifts in her behavior all pointed towards an unsettling truth. Amelia had experienced something that had transformed her. The revelation sent a wave of fear through Lucy. She found herself questioning everything she thought she knew about Amelia. The woman who sat before her was both familiar and alien, a paradox that sent shivers down Lucy's spine. As the conversation ended, Lucy was left with a chilling question. Was Amelia the same person she had known and loved? Or had her friend returned with a stranger? The thought was enough to keep Lucy up at night, her mind teeming with terrifying possibilities. Could Amelia be under the influence of an entity beyond our understanding? As the days passed, this question would haunt Lucy, driving her to uncover the truth behind Amelia's unsettling transformation. Little did she know, the truth was far more terrifying than she could ever imagine. Lucy was on a quest for answers, determined to stop at nothing to get her best friend back. Ever since she returned, she was not the same, and Lucy wanted more than anything to have her old friend back, not this strange shell of a person. She plunged into the obscure depths of the occult, seeking knowledge about phenomena that defied the laws of nature. The nights turned into a blur of ancient texts and hushed whispers of the supernatural. Lucy discovered tales of beings known as skinwalkers, entities that could mimic the appearance of humans, fooling their loved ones into believing they were the real deal. As Amelia's behavior became increasingly erratic, the symbols more frequent, and the moving objects more blatant, Lucy's research pointed her to a horrifying possibility. Could Amelia be one of these skinwalkers, a cunning entity hiding behind the facade of her friend's face? The thought sent an ice-cold chill down Lucy's spine, but the evidence was stacking up and she couldn't ignore the creeping dread that gnawed at her gut. Lucy presented her findings to Amelia's family and the community. She urged them to consider the chilling possibility that Amelia wasn't Amelia at all. Instead, she might be a deceptive being that had taken her friend's form. The community, already unsettled by the strange occurrences surrounding Amelia, couldn't dismiss Lucy's claim out of hand. Could Amelia be a skinwalker, a deceptive entity mimicking her appearance? This question echoed in the minds of those who knew her, as they pondered the uncanny phenomena unfolding around them. The sense of normalcy they longed for seemed far away, overshadowed by the dark specter of the supernatural. The chilling reality that Amelia's family and friends found themselves grappling with was more than anyone should have to bear. The once warm and vibrant Amelia was now a shell of her former self, her every action shrouded in an eerie strangeness that sent shivers down their spines. The community, led by Lucy, made a collective decision that would set them on a path of no return. They sought the help of a local medium, a woman renowned for her dealings with the supernatural. As they stood on the precipice of a world unknown, their hearts pounded with fear and uncertainty. But the need to reclaim Amelia from the clutches of this otherworldly thing steeled their resolve. The medium, a woman of indeterminable age with eyes that held an ancient wisdom, arrived at the family's home. Her presence seemed to stir the air, sending a ripple of unease through the room. She sat down, her gaze fixed on Amelia, and began the seance. As the medium delved into the ethereal plane, the room grew cold and a sense of dread filled the air. Amelia's demeanor changed, her eyes reflecting an alien intelligence that was not her own. The medium, undeterred by the palpable tension, confirmed their worst fears. Amelia's body had become a vessel for a malevolent entity seeking refuge in the world of the living. The news sent shockwaves through the community. The realization that Amelia, the woman they had welcomed back with open arms, was now a puppet controlled by an unseen force was a bitter pill to swallow. Their joy at her return had been replaced by a chilling fear that gnawed at their hearts. But they knew, deep down, that they could not falter. They had to fight, not just for Amelia, but for themselves, for their community. They had to confront this entity, this impostor wearing Amelia's form like a deceptive mask. How do you fight an entity that has taken over someone you care about? As they prepared for the confrontation, they knew they were about to find out. The battle for Amelia's soul was about to begin. The medium, chosen for his expertise in handling paranormal phenomena, took the lead. The room crackled with an energy as the group, united in their cause, began the exorcism. They invoked ancient rituals, their voices rising and falling in a rhythmic chant, uttering sacred incantations designed to expel the malevolent entity. The entity within Amelia resisted, thrashing violently, a creature of the shadows revealed in glimpses. This was no ordinary spirit, but something far darker, an entity that feasted on human emotions, using Amelia's form as a deceptive disguise. It was a battle not just for Amelia's soul, but for their own sanity. Each word of the incantation was a strike against the entity, each prayer a shield against its malevolent influence. As the exorcism reached its fever pitch, the room fell into an eerie silence. The entity roared, its voice echoing in the chilling stillness. It clung on, stubbornly refusing to let go of Amelia. An eerie silence descended upon the room, broken only by the guttural roar of the entity, a roar that seemed to echo with a newfound life. The entity was no longer just inhabiting Amelia, it was becoming her. Her form began to shift, her human features merging with the monstrous visage of the entity. The transformation was repulsive yet transfixing, a grotesque blend of the familiar and the alien. The woman they knew as Amelia was becoming something unrecognizable, a reptilian creature from the depths of their darkest nightmares. The chilling sight left them grappling with a horrifying reality.